Hello to all my spiritual sisters and brothers. I have returned from my trip, and today is the 1st of May in the year 2025, when I am making this video for you. Thank you all for your comments. I love you all too. You truly give me energy and empower me to come back here every week, despite all the busy schedules I have. I will post new videos for you. Today, I mostly want to talk about the changes that start in May and perhaps by the year 2030. In 5 years, we will see the effects of the decisions we make this month and next month stabilize and become evident. It is a very important month. It is a very good month. It is a very fruitful month. Unlike the past 6 months, which were very tense, nothing was growing. Nothing was working. Everything was stagnant. It was stagnant. We feel that after May, a kind of portal opens and we start moving. We start seeing results. In my book 5 years ago, I talked about these massive changes. Starting from June 2025, the year 25. I talked a lot about the ongoing changes. In fact, my book was about this very topic 5 years ago. And now we have reached that point. Now we have reached the point where we want to let go of our old world and enter our new world. And that's why we see changes both outside of ourselves and within ourselves, especially in the past 6 months. I'm sure that no matter what zodiac sign you were, you had conflicts, stresses, and unresolved issues, all of which, God willing, will become clear and resolved for you after June, with Pluto now in Aquarius and Neptune in Aries, and this new moon we have in Taurus. All of these make us feel like we are starting to move. We are moving forward. It's not like before when we were struggling, like on a treadmill and not really going anywhere. We weren't getting any results. It was just hard work. There were mental problems. There were emotional problems. But it didn't really lead to a place where we could find peace. But from now on, we are starting. We are moving forward. And many decisions will be made. We will see many good results. There will be many revelations. Many of the governments and treacherous leaders, religious and political and medical, all of them, even cultural, those who betrayed, lied, and brainwashed us. These truths begin to unfold, and as a result, the impact they have on economic, political, cultural, and national issues means that we have to rebuild something anew. We can no longer live like the old system. Monetary issues will arise. Economic and banking issues will arise. Cultural issues will follow. Traditions that have become outdated will somehow transform into new attire for us, because these traditions have been passed down to us for about 3,000 years, and now is the time for us to break many traditions. We need to set aside many superstitions. We need to break away from many issues we've become accustomed to, many beliefs that have been repeated like a cycle, repeated, and we've been harmed by this. repetition, and enter a new world with a new self, with new beliefs, with new attire, and with new laws. What has been happening over the past 6 months? And I can even say since 2012, meaning it can go back to that time. And we haven't seen the result. We saw there are a series of things we want to change, but we haven't seen them change. Now it is starting to show itself. Now it is starting to move quickly. Now we feel like a train that is moving forward, and there's no turning back. For us, we are now constantly moving forward quickly. We are heading into the future, and this future is advancing incredibly fast in terms of technology. Strange technological developments in aviation, automobile manufacturing, road construction, and shipbuilding. In all these areas, we will see incredibly strange developments in the next 5 years. And as I have always said, we are getting in touch with our relatives. How should I say our cousins on other planets, not just our spiritual brothers and sisters on Earth. And these are all major transformations. These strange transactions that are happening now after 3,000 years for us who volunteered to come here at this time and witness this process. Everything will change in a strange way that we have never seen before, never heard of. And it's really hard for our small human minds to believe right now what we have in May. So be careful, I recommend, what you want to change and alter in May, plan it in May as if, for example, you want to change your job, you want to get a divorce, you want to get married, you want to immigrate, you want any kind of change you like, buy a house. Don't buy a house, sell a house. Try all of these, plan it now, and plant the seed. And I promise you that the seed you plant now will bear fruit within the next 30 years. That's why you need to be careful and realize there's no turning back. What decision do you have? What do you want to write on paper about where you want to be in 10 years? I want to know who I will be in 5 years and start these plans. Lay the foundation in May. Make it strong. And it's possible. I mean, it definitely is. It moves slowly because Taurus moves slowly this month, but it definitely moves and gets done. But be careful about what you want, what you wish for, and what things you want to change in your life. Throw away the old and bring new things into your life. So be careful with the decisions you make, because starting from June, in fact, we begin in June. We enter a portal that will itself take 8 to 10 years, and for the next 30 years. What we plant the seed for this year, until the end of the year, it will become a big tree, and we will see its benefits. We are actually in a state where we are closing a 3,000-year cycle. That's why we need to address the files, documents, and issues that have been left from previous years. And we ignored. We kept saying, we won't do it now. We'll do it later. We'll take care of these things someday when we have time. Now is the time. We might only have 3 weeks to get these things done. Remove things from our lives that no longer serve us in the future, and with a new mindset and a new lifestyle that aligns with our dreams, what we truly want to be and become. Lay the foundation for them now, and then enter the light that will open when this gateway opens. Let's start from June. Onwards, put them into action one by one. If you do nothing, you will suffer greatly. If you don't close past issues and files, and don't clear the clutter from your mind, don't clear it from your home, continue with a job you don't like, you will suffer greatly. Now is the time to choose to move forward with your dreams. And if someone says that, I haven't done it for the past few years, I won't do it for another 2 months either, next year, it won't happen. This is the last chance for me to write what I dream of, to set aside the things I don't need, to enter this portal with new beliefs, new thoughts, and new customs, wishing the best for each and every one of you. In order for me to make the right decision that aligns with the vibration of a new field, I need to give birth to the new from within myself. It's a matter of death and rebirth. We all finish a karmic cycle and die. We die in this very body. That previous version of me dies. And now is the time for me to be reborn in this very body with new beliefs, with new goals, with a new mentality, and new social etiquettes. And all the scientific, medical, social, and political issues that had conditioned me before had put me on a cycle where I kept going around and getting the same result. I need to change the formula. If I go to the lab every day and mix salt and water, I will get salt water. But from today, instead of using this white powder, which is salt, I can use sugar and change the outcome. As a result, the answer will be something different. So we need to change this cycle. We need to set aside the habits taught to us since childhood, which were all wrong, and ask ourselves what we really want. Who is this new me? What talents do I have? Where do I want to go? What kind of life do I want to have? And where do I want to be in 10 years? And set my goals based on that. If I don't leave my old self behind, I will have no place in the golden land that is the vibration of the earth. When it goes from 20 hertz, reaches 60 hertz, I need to raise my vibration. I need to stop being the person who blames others for my misfortunes. I need to stop sitting around since childhood saying that I am doomed because I was born into this family. I am doomed because I didn't have the living conditions that others had. I am doomed because I didn't have the education that others had, or due to financial issues, where I must work to make ends meet, do hard jobs. and not enjoy any leisure. These are all beliefs that we have given ourselves since childhood, and now it's time for me to evaluate them. What do I deserve? What am I worthy of? Why do I have low self-esteem? Why don't I love myself? Once we reach these questions, we reach a point where we feel ourselves. We like to get to know our inner child. We become friends with our inner child, and I put myself first. I come first. According to customs, I no longer put others first. I care about myself because if I am happy, my children will be happy. My family will be happy. Then my relatives will be happy. First, if my leg is broken, I need to fix my own leg before promising someone else that I can carry them on my back. It's like the oxygen situation on an airplane. I need to be healthy first, put on the oxygen, so I can save others. And now is the time for us to let go of all those old customs of thinking I was miserable, I was innocent, I was condemned, I became a victim of I don't know what. We have built our own lives up to today. This person that I am, this hell that I have created for myself, I built it myself. And now is the time that I can put an end to this hell and enter paradise with a better relationship, with a more peaceful life, with a job that I love, in a place where I want to live, in a house that I want to live in. Nothing is mandatory. Breaking the law. There is no mistake. I came here to find myself. I didn't come to be trapped by a bunch of very old laws that are 3,000 years old. Based on them, to build my modern life. If one of the issues that can really have an impact this month is that if you started in 2012, an issue, a marriage, a relationship, a migration, and you haven't been happy since then, now it might be 2017 when these issues intensified and increased. It might have been 2018. It might have started a year or two ago when your patience ran out. I'm tired. I'm mentally exhausted. I'm physically exhausted. I can't take it anymore. If you have such issues, a complete review, because the era is changing. We are entering a new era. Sit down and do a complete and honest review with yourself. For example, if you have marital problems, ask yourself, instead of constantly blaming my partner, thinking you made me do this, if it weren't for you, I would have been with someone else or had a different husband or partner. I wouldn't have fallen into this misery. Sit down honestly with yourself and see if I have given my all to this marriage. Have I done my best to expect the best from my partner? Dancing the tango requires two skilled people. If I don't know how to dance, I shouldn't blame my partner because I step on their foot. We need to learn that the street goes both ways. If I am fully adhering to the legal rules, and similarly, if the other driver is also following these rules, We will not collide. And the interesting thing about this month is that it leads us to a place where we can sit and be honest with ourselves. And it's like a spark lights up in my mind that I have condemned this poor person so much. I accuse my sister. I didn't treat my mother badly. I wasn't really as good to my neighbor as I expected them to be to me. Any kind of conflict you have at home, within the home and family, in marriage and relationships, at work. Any kind of conflict, even two sisters might have some issues. And stop talking to each other. The month is a time to sit down with the person we have a conflict with, but whom we love and don't want to leave, and have an honest conversation. And interestingly, the spark that occurs in the mind is that I become aware of my own actions. I realize that I wasn't such a good partner for that relationship either. I wasn't a good sister to my sister either. And let's sit down together and resolve this mutual issue. And instead of pointing fingers at the other person, I should point at myself and say that from today I will try to bring out my better self. From today, I will try to give my best self to this relationship. First, love yourself. Then, connect with your inner child. Forgive what happened in childhood, because carrying these issues of sadness and blaming someone else, saying you were at fault, you did this to me. My mother didn't understand. My father didn't understand. I am now an adult who can make decisions and choices. So now, what my mother did to me at 7 or 12 years old will not solve any problems for me. I try to tell myself, as an adult, that from now on, I will give my best to myself, to society, to my homeland, to my land, to Mother Earth. And I am not looking to find faults in others. I will correct my own mistakes. I will not compete with anyone else. I will compete with myself, with last year's me, with the me from 2 years ago. I want to honestly resolve the issues that I know I have within myself and give another chance to this marriage, to this family relationship, to this neighborly relationship, to this work relationship, and see if it can be fixed or not. And by July, we will see the results of this. And it's interesting that we might reach this conclusion. Very much so. That is, there is a 90% chance that couples who think there is no way and they must separate will realize that the problem was not between the two of them at all. The issue was due to my problem with my mother. The issue was due to my own shortcomings. The issue was because I didn't love myself enough. I didn't know my own values. And perhaps the issue was our place of residence. I didn't pay attention to my living environment. This wasn't the place for me. And even if we change the house, we can start with a new environment and fresh energy. We won't have any problems with each other. Please, if these are your problems to this extent, because when I read the comments, I really can't respond to all of them. personally, but mostly I feel that there is a way. After you become honest with yourself, a light bulb goes off in your brain and you find the problem within yourself. The problem wasn't with someone else. The problem was with me. And now I'm in a state where I can correct this within myself. And as soon as I correct myself, energies come out of me that are trustworthy, that are lovable, that are honest, and that are free of anger. There is no despair in it. There is no blame in it. And this makes me feel that I am in a higher level with the same spouse I wanted to separate from, realizing how much I love them and want to live with them for the rest of my life. Give yourself this chance. The possibility of these miracles is infinitely high. In May and June, before you cut, measure 1,000 times. And this month, you have the opportunity to measure and sit down to see the issues one by one from the other person's perspective and admit that I hadn't given my 100%. I didn't love myself enough. And from now on, I will focus on my own values. This Venus in Taurus is working exactly on this. It's not just about money. It's not just about a bank account. It's about knowing my own values, knowing my own worth, knowing what I have, so I can increase it. Yes. What creative powers do I have that I have never given a chance to express themselves? Now is the time for us to go back, review our childhood, forgive, and say that I have the power to change. And when these processes happen within us, we feel that the issues occurring outside no longer bother us much. Because I feel peace, true peace, from within myself. Peace does not exist in things outside of me. I always use this example. I say, which one do you prefer? A very expensive bag that is a well-known brand. It's $5,000, $7,000. You carry it in your hand, but inside, you know you don't have any bank account. You don't even have money for that day's meal in your bag, but you're carrying a very expensive bag. You want to be that person. Well, that person will never feel happy. Now the opposite. You see someone sitting by the sea in very simple clothes, very simple. They don't even have a bag. But they have realized their own values. They have a peaceful home. They have inner peace. They have peace with themselves. They have peace with the sea. They have peace with their surroundings. It doesn't matter how many zeros they have in the bank. It doesn't matter to them at all. I'm not saying having money is bad. I'm saying true happiness and peace come from within, not from appearances. That I should drive the latest model car, but I worry about whether I will have the money for the installment next month or not. I buy clothes that really don't fit within my budget or my lifestyle. Why do I do all of this? To show others outside of myself that I am someone. And this is nothing but competing with others. And where does competition come from? From the fact that I see myself as less. I feel that others are more. I am trying to show myself as more than I am through appearances. But happiness has no place in this philosophy at all. Nothing external can bring us peace. So let's be careful to try to completely change our behavior with utmost honesty during these 2 months. It doesn't matter how you behaved 30 years ago, 40 years ago, 15 years ago, or 45 years ago. Let everyone in your family be shocked and say, who is this person now? But find happiness within yourself and admit what is holding you back. I don't like these. Learn to say no sometimes. Now is the time. When saying no without reason brings responsibility. If I don't want to go there, I can't do this for you today. I'm telling you I can't. One no and it's done. But he didn't come with the pretense of saying things that upset my mind a bit. Because I promised myself, because I disrespected my soul. But I didn't stand firm on my pen. These were all the past world. Let's put these aside. Say what's in your heart, without pretense. If the person liked it, if the person wanted, they would accept you. And if the person didn't like it and was ready to complain or have no relationship with you, they would leave. And now is the time for those who are not our kindred spirits, who are not in tune with our spiritual vibration, to leave. Some people might change their group of friends entirely during this time because their vibration has changed here and the rest are here. I'm not going anymore to the bar to drink and laugh with some people and feel like I had such a good time, or this trend that has come from Hollywood movies. I became depressed. My boyfriend left me. I'm going to have a pajama party. A few girls sit under a blanket and we eat ice cream until the end because I'm depressed. Or I go into drugs, or I don't know, smoke something. Anything that comes from outside to temporarily take away my depression. It's poison, especially for this year. For this year, as we are paving our way, there are 50 exits. Be careful which exit you are taking, because whichever exit you take, you'll be on that path for 30 years. Gone are the days when we would sit and go to a place like a bar and sit talking about men because they betrayed us. No. You allowed that man to leave you. You allowed that woman to leave you. Everything was up to you. So, chasing after these temporary pleasures, like if I sit and eat sweets or ice cream until morning and travel with a bunch of other girls to drink together, this depression will go away. These are all Hollywood fantasies. None of these will work. The real system of building my life is constructed from the foundations I laid today. And in the next 6 months, I will see how strong it is. I lay these bricks myself. And I don't need anyone's help. This is the current situation. Look, my dear friends, it's actually about justice being served. In this year, in the year 2025, we must prepare ourselves for many scandals to be revealed in culture and the cultural system, in the economic and banking system, in money and stock markets, in the political system and in the religious system. Enormously significant changes will occur, and in other words, the world will be turned upside down. But what is emerging from beneath is something truly beautiful. It is honest, and the truth is near. This world we have been living in has been entirely a lie. It has been entirely political. It has been entirely deceitful. And those who have been honest during this time will come forward, and those who have betrayed and deceived the people will go under. So this upheaval of the world is something incredibly beautiful and necessary at this moment. Those who have sown seeds of honesty, who have planted good seeds, will reap the rewards. And those who have planted harmful and toxic seeds in the ground will also be exposed. And as I said, justice will be served. Nothing will remain hidden under the sun. Everything will be illuminated, and everything will be revealed. So, do not be afraid of any changes and transformations that we feel are happening in the world and around you at this time. Welcome it with open arms, because we are plowing the old, worn-out earth and laying a very fundamental and solid foundation based on truth to build a new structure. In fact, this upheaval is very pleasant. It is very beautiful. It is very delightful and very reassuring. Previously, we had no stability. Our old house will collapse. Be prepared in every way, because we are undergoing transformation and change. As a result of these changes, natural events might initially occur. There might be false wars, but we are not afraid of any of them. These are all lies. These are the last blows they are exerting, because they are disappearing. The exploiters are making their greatest efforts to survive. They will not survive, because the era has changed and nothing false works anymore, whether it's those involved in false businesses, personally or globally, whether religious leaders, political leaders, borders, or countries. All these things are undergoing transformation. At first, it might not be pleasant. Initially, we might experience floods and air disasters. We might have natural disasters, mountain explosions, and I don't know, firefighting and fires. I mean, fires and all of these things. But it's necessary for us to build our new world, that these events happen so that we can construct solid foundation on our Mother Earth from underground. Government laws might completely change. Border issues might have their laws completely changed. There is a very high chance, meaning 100%, that the lies given to us in science, especially medical science, will be exposed. But following this through the Arcturians, we will bring medical science. There will be no knives, blood, or incurable diseases, and no surgery will be performed without pain. And no one will suffer from chronic medications that we were lied to about, and our doctors were taught wrong lessons. Everything will be exposed. Everything will become clear in the next 6 months. So everything is getting better. Do not be afraid. This portal that opens in May will change our belief system without us even knowing, because we are completing our work cycle and entering our Dharma, the Dharma that we guaranteed before we were born. We made a promise to our soul. We came here for this Dharma, but we got lost due to the wrong system that was built to exploit and brainwash us. We got lost. Now is the time that, after karma is reset, we enter Dharma. Why did I come here? What should I do for this earth? What is my talent? What am I good at? And what was I supposed to come here to do? We enter the Dharma. Stage of why. Was I born? What was the reason I came to Earth in the first place? So try to recognize your talents. Try to turn off the external appearances, all that glitter, because that world is over now. The world is a place for me to discover myself. And because I am a drop from the source, I am the creator. Religions falsely said that. There is a man up there called God. And whenever I pray, everything will act according to my wishes. First of all, if it were to have a gender, God does not have a gender. God is not at all like our small brain that compares everything to humans. There is no gender. It is a white. If it were to have a gender, it would be female, because a woman is a creator and a man is a specialist in action. This means masculine energy acts and feminine energy creates. So God should be female, but none of this is true. So put aside all these trivialities that have been given to us through religion, and then pass down from generation to generation and seek the truth and your own talents from next Friday until 2026, which is next year. This train of destiny moves forward rapidly. It moves forward at an incredible speed. That is, time becomes so fast. Technology becomes so fast. And this train does not go back. This train only moves forward. So, why should I, as a passenger on that train, keep flashing back to the past? Why should I think about what my mother did to me when I was 7? It's like you and I are in a car, and we want to travel around the world by car. Well, a city we saw yesterday And there might have been a disagreement or an argument at the hotel when we go the next day to a new city we haven't seen. I don't turn around and say to you, my friend, let me go back and see if that hotel owner argued with a new guest. Again or not. Go see what happens now. Or repeat it. No. We saw it. We were observers. It's over. It's done. Let's leave it. Let's go see what's ahead. Let's go see me, who has nothing. I'm a blank sheet of paper. I bring nothing from my past. I have a very simple backpack. I take it with me to the new world. What does the future hold for me? The past is over. The past was a lie. The past was all ambiguity. It was the age of fish. And it was all an illusion. It was all about drug use, trying to escape from this world. That's so chaotic, so tumultuous, and so full of suffering. I want to separate myself. And then it would lead to fights and conflicts. And then wars would arise. And then conflicts where brothers would kill brothers. None of this was true. These were to access places that were valuable to countries. And they didn't want us to access them. Resources they didn't want us to know about. And then brother killed brother. All of this was a lie. So don't become a prisoner of your past lies. Let's move forward with this train of destiny, free from any judgment and fear, and see what it has in store for us. We just need to look to the future. And what is my role here? What can I do for this Mother Earth of mine? I no longer hold those old, fossilized beliefs. I am a person who knows my own powers and creates happiness for myself. Now is the time for me to know myself. Now is the time for me to go within and find my own values, not the meaningless values that were given to me from outside. I am the daughter of so-and-so. I have such and such a job. I have such and such a title. I have such and such a car. I live in this neighborhood. All of these were for show and competition, to separate a person from themselves. And all the answers to these are within you, and the powers are within you. We live in different classes. If one person can have a great life in Hawaii, and another person in a very poor village in India doesn't have food, none of these are God's fault. These are not God's unfairness. These are not bad luck. These are because you haven't stood up for yourself. To say that I can also live well, just like someone else. We all live in the same world. We live in the same furnace, but the differences are so vast. So you are what you believe. You are. If you believe that you are miserable and must remain miserable for the rest of your life because you were born into a miserable family, no, God will help you. Get up and believe in yourself and say who I am and what talents I have. If I didn't have financial problems, if I didn't have issues, with where I live, which country I'm living in. What would my dream be? I dreamed of who I would be and where I would live. And this month and the next is the time for you to reach that goal. Accept these from me. Feel free to write in the comments. Change your goals. Break the compulsions that make me feel there's no other way, because everything is changing. Reach the point where you know your true worth, because our self-confidence due to accidents, due to wrong upbringing, due to customs, due to different cultures, our self-confidence is 0. It's gone. I am nothing. No, I am everything. I can reach anywhere. The time is when I come out of being a caterpillar to being a butterfly. It's been years now, 5 years, 6 years. We are all moving forward in a very narrow and dark tunnel. In ambiguity, we have no idea what will happen. Now is the time for me to decide to become a butterfly. There was a reason I was in that tunnel, because now I appreciate the light, because now I know my own strengths. I have the power to transform from a caterpillar to a butterfly. I have the power to emerge from the ground as a scorpion and become a phoenix. And if I'm not aware, I need to know. Or if I'm afraid of losing my safe place, go back to the time when you were in your mother's womb. No baby wants to come out of their mother's womb. They cry. They don't want to come out. They are terrified of that tight space they have to come out of. And that baby doesn't know that the mother who loves them so much is pushing them out, because there's a much bigger world, millions of times larger than the mother's womb. We are there now. We are at the point where we need to take risks. We are at the point where we need to push ourselves up and say that I will no longer stay in this body. I am going to see a bigger world for myself. If others can see it, if others have it, I can have it too. I am not hopeless. I am not ignorant. I am a conscious person who is aware of all my powers and talents. I am a child of that God who creates. I am a drop from that lake. I am a particle of that divine light. All creative powers are within me. So set aside despair, fear, worry, feeling guilty, and feeling anger towards others. These are vibrations that might have worked at a vibrational level that was previously at an animalistic level of 20 hertz. But when we move to 60, 70, 80, by the year 2030, we reach 80 hertz. These will not work. Create an environment for yourself where, even if I am alone, I deserve this beautiful home, this clean house, this clean body, these good thoughts, and this cheerful spirit. I deserve it, and I will achieve and obtain it Work in that vibration. Any discomfort, fear, worry, and thoughts of "I can't" will keep you down. And when this vibration is not in harmony with the universal vibration, you will perish. Be careful. We are crossing a bridge. We are moving from the third dimension to the fifth dimension. This bridge is scary. This bridge makes you shake, it trembles. But there's nothing to fear because the bridge is sturdy. This bridge scares us a bit like the skeletons on display during Hollywood's Halloween. It's fake. The skeleton is scary. None of them scare me. I cross because I'm connected to my source. And because I'm on my bridge, I'll definitely reach the end of it because there are thousands ahead of me who are crossing. So put fear aside. The time is right. It's time to take responsibility. If I make sure to take myself across the bridge to the fifth dimension, I'll go. I trust my own feet. I trust my own hands. But if I stand still and tremble and say my aunt, uncle, and mom will come to save me, you'll be one of those who gets thrown off the bridge. Here, everyone must work on their own strength. Everyone must rely on themselves. I won't let anyone cross the bridge through favoritism or connections. This is a place where you have to take a test. I have understood who I am. I trust myself. I am capable of crossing the bridge. So, indeed, make peace with yourself. Make peace with your inner child. And know that in this journey we've been through for many years, not knowing what was happening, especially since 2020, whatever happened to anyone, whether it was emotionally, physically, illness, death, grief, lack of money, or losing loved ones, all these events happened to us. We were passing through that dark corridor, through that narrow passage, strengthening our muscles. And now is the time for me to reach that covenant. The covenant I made with my God and my soul before I was born, that I would come to earth. I accept this mission, no matter how difficult it is, because I want to be one of the leaders who enters the fifth dimension. And I won't give up. Me from. Become disappointed in myself. Rather, I trust myself. I won't wait for anyone either. If you want your loved ones to pass through here, you can't help them. They have to help themselves. You can't watch over your own child on this path. Everyone will cross this bridge to the extent that they believe in themselves. And now is the time to decide. I will set aside everything that doesn't serve me in the future. I will do it based on my own strengths, not for anyone else. Now, the question is, are you ready? Are you ready to know yourself? Are you ready to recognize your own strengths? Are you ready to ask yourself, who am I? And why was I born? Are you willing to step out of your comfort zone and say, I will walk this path alone and give this power to my feet? If I can let it go, I believe in myself. This is your job for this month. I will pull myself out of this pit, transform into a butterfly, and fly over the pump. I don't even walk because I have so much faith in myself. Are you ready to forgive yourself? Ready to forgive others? Ready to tell yourself that what I did myself. And now I will change it. With you or without you. I bring happiness into my life. I bring peace into my life. On this journey, the only thing I will take with me is following my Creator. Trust in our higher self. I had silenced that higher self due to societal, social, national, and cultural customs. I am bringing out my higher self. I will show my best self to our Mother Earth. And this month is the month that I will change, because there is no more time. Find security and peace within yourself. There is nothing outside of you. Nothing exists. Just as you tame Matig, you will reef Matig. What you take with you is the book you wrote during this time about how much of your own powers you discovered within yourself. Not which bag you had or which car you had. I was able to transform myself from this cocoon into a light-winged butterfly. I ask my higher self to bring this message of mine to your homes today, to light a spark in the minds of each and every one of you dear ones, and make you decide from this very moment to be a different person, the person you admire yourself, the person you love, person we are proud of, under the protection of the great God and my higher spirit. I entrust all of you to the great Creator, and I kiss each of your hearts. Be at peace. Until the next video.